Only on Fox 19 now, a Cincinnati native who moved to LA is saving lives through a podcast. Sports director Joe D is in LA covering the Reds, but he's sharing his story and joins us live at Dodger Stadium. And a lot of people in Cincinnati may know who this is, right, Joe?
Yes, a lot of people in Cincinnati know him because he used to have my job as a local TV sports reporter in Cincinnati. And look, right now the Reds are game on in Game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series here at Dodger Stadium. And one of the biggest fans in Los Angeles of the Reds is inside watching the game right now. In fact, he told me he bought tickets for all 3 games this week if it does take 3 games to decide this series. But you're right, Rob. A lot of people who are watching this know the name Brandon Saho, a former TV sports reporter who then walked away from TV because he was struggling with depression and also thoughts of suicide. He walked away from TV and started a mental health podcast to help people just like himself. September is Suicide Prevention Month, and his story is one of change and changing lives. Maybe it's a sign, a place where everything nearly ended and a new life began. Healing takes steps, and retracing his, it's here where he can remember how it felt.
The bridge here saved my life.
Life is about decisions, and the decision he made to save his own life would become his sign to be a bridge for others.
If my story saves one life, that's good enough for me because it saved my life too.
Brandon Saho did it, landing his dream job in his home city. The big smile, the big personality. He covered one of the biggest moments in Cincinnati sports, but couldn't fully cover what he kept hidden behind the camera.
That experience, I don't want anyone to feel. I mean, I remember being suicidal in my hotel room that night after I covered the AFC Championship game. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be when you're living your dream job. Like, it broke me and no one could see those, like, pieces of glass shattering.
Coping with alcohol and struggling with relationships, Brandon felt broken.
You know, I'll never forget, like, those so many, like, I'm talking about hundreds of nights of walking home, crying my eyes out, listening to music at 3, 4 in the morning, and just feeling like every link as I'm going across the bridge. And you're not supposed to talk about means and methods, like that's what I've learned, but I just want to be honest about my story. Like, you know, there was the bridge, there was nights where I laid down in traffic outside of the casino downtown, you know, wrote a goodbye letter and took pills and prayed not to wake up, and you have all those moments happen, and then you finally have the courage to tell your mom and dad what's going on at 28. I think that is what was supposed to happen.
His name tag in hand, Brandon needed professional help at a mental health center. He took classes, he earned certificates, and he bought a notebook that would be the first page in his new story.
It's not like mental health is fixed like that, but I learned things that I should have been learning in the school, along with math, English, science, that no one else was being taught anywhere, because we were ashamed because of the stigma around mental health. Like, you should learn, just, you know, along with addition, subtraction, how to deal with grief, how to go through trauma. What are those coping mechanisms? Those red flags, those warning signs to look for.
A full page, a full year, a fully changed person. Brandon Saho fully committed to changing lives. A move to Los Angeles to launch the Mental Game podcast. His interviews with celebrities, athletes, and coaches open conversations about mental health.
If you're really struggling, please do something.
Thousands on college campuses, hundreds in high school gyms, he took his mental health message to 30 states in 30 days.
The coolest thing for me is every time that I speak, whether it's a basketball arena of 5,000 people or an office meeting room of 20 people, every single time, at least one person, usually more, say, hey Brandon, I've never told anyone this, but I've been suicidal. And they say, I don't know who else to tell, I don't know where to go, where to ask for help, but you gave me the courage to say something to you. It saves lives. I see it work.
It is a sign. Walking the bridges of his hometown, this is his sign, one of the more than 5,000 in more than 40 states that he designed, he shipped, and he fought for.
The fact that somebody might be thinking about taking their own life like I was on these bridges 2-3 years ago, now walks by and they can scan a QR code and find those resources here in Ohio and Kentucky and ask for help maybe for the first time. It's really, really humbling, inspiring, and cool.
A reminder that there is help, there is hope, and there is someone who can be a bridge to better mental health.
I mean, I get the question all the time, like, what do you want to do? What do you want this to become? I don't care if I have Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on, or if it's just me talking. I want this to be the biggest mental health platform in the world because I want to help save lives.
The Mental Game podcast is now 3 years deep and features a who's who of A-list celebrities, athletes, and coaches talking about the importance of mental health in their lives and their careers. It's part of the reason why Brandon moved out to Los Angeles from Cincinnati, is to be closer and more accessible to so many of the influencers who are out here in the LA area. If you see those signs around Cincinnati on one of the bridges, including the Purple People Bridge, people can scan a QR code on those signs, and that will come with mental health resources and also stories of people like Brandon's who can help people who need help themselves. Live in Los Angeles, I'm Joe Daneman, Fox 19 Now. Rob, back to you.
Joe, I'm curious. Does he miss the business?
I think he misses moments like this, Rob, where there's a chance to showcase Cincinnati on a national stage and go to the big moments. But we know it. This business can be stressful. It can be hard. And I think it's part of the reason that Brandon struggled so much with depression and alcohol, is because of the late hours, the lifestyle, and sometimes the stress that comes with it. But he's such a big sports fan. You never lose that itch to want to cover sports the way we do in Cincinnati.
That's a great story. I know Brandon. What he's doing to help other people is really admirable. Joe, thanks for bringing us this story. Appreciate it. We'll see you a little bit later on.